What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to be ranking every single Zelda game that is on this chart. Now, there is one that I'm going to be ranking that isn't here, but other than that, I have played every one of these games, I think. If Cadence of Hyrule's on here, I haven't played that, or beaten it. I tried it, but Echoes of Wisdom is not on this list. So right now I'm just going to tell you that is an S rank. I love that game. Echoes of Wisdom is absolutely amazing. I had a lot of fun with it. I think the story is amazing. And I highly recommend it. Now that is definitive because I played that game for the first time when it first came out about 8 months ago now, which is crazy to think about. Now, ignore all the weird pop-ups that happen on these sites. I don't know how to get rid of them, but it doesn't matter. So, I'm going to be going in chronological order, starting with Skyward Sword, and I will tell you how I, like all these games. So, yeah. Alright, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Skyward Sword. I really liked this game. A tier. It has an amazing story. I love the characters in that game. It's probably my favorite rendition of Princess Zelda. I like how Link and Zelda connect in this game and how they... It seems like this is the game where they're actually in love. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if after the ending credits they, started a life together and got married and whatnot. But the story was amazing. The only thing preventing me from putting it at S is the motion controls. I don't love the controls of this game. Even with the new Switch controls, it still feels a little clunky. But other than that, I really liked this game. It's a lot of fun. The story's amazing. Probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite. And yeah, I really like the game. Echoes of Wisdom, it might even be better than Echo's story, but Echoes of Wisdom's story, another reason I love that so much is in Ocarina of Time it explains how the world was created and who was responsible for it, and Echoes of Wisdom gives a reason as to why. It's not a necessary thing, but I think it's so cool that Hyrule was created because of an entity that was eating up everything that, moved. Everything that was living it ate up, and the goddesses had to seal it inside of the world they created. So I found that to be pretty cool. But yeah, that Skyward Sword, great story, great characters, even fun gameplay. I just don't love the motion controls. So we're going to move on to the Minish Cap. The Minish Cap is also another really fun game to play. I like how it gives the backstory of Vati and the Four Sword, and it's an early version of Hyrule. It's quite small still, but it gives us some cool lore like the Hero of Men and the Era of Chaos and the Minish Cap ability. I really like that, being able to shrink down into little miniature size, the size of an ant basically, maybe even smaller. But again, another really good story. I like the mechanics and the controls are good. But, it's still a bite-sized Zelda game. It is overshadowed by its older brothers or older cousins, if you will. So, it is a B-tier game for sure. And I will say my list is going to be a little controversial, but, we all have our opinions. So next up is The Legend of Zelda Four Swords. If I can find it, there we go. I'm going to put this at D tier. No, C tier. Four Swords is a very short game. Like, my girlfriend and I have played through it twice, and it's very fun. It continues the story of Vati and how he broke out of the seal, and There's 4 different levels you play through, and you could beat this game easily in 3 hours, if not less. The Anniversary Edition had a little bit more content packed into it, but it wasn't... I never got the chance to play that one, so, I played the original GBA release that's available on the GBA itself and the Nintendo Switch Online membership. Loved the game. The story was a little lackluster, it being a 3-hour game and all. The gameplay was very fun. It's a Zelda game that we actually got to play together. Because, yes, we are playing together. We play all the other games together, but this one we can have 2 players, 4 players playing if we wanted to. And I also gotta say, for the spin-off games like Hyrule Warriors, those I'll do at the very end after we do all the mainline Zelda games, just so you guys know. Alright, next up is a gem, Ocarina of Time. This I'm also putting in A tier. I really love Ocarina of Time. The 3-way timeline split and whatnot. It's very fun. I really like the story in the game. It's quite simple. It came out in the 90s. But I really enjoyed the characters in the game, the characters that were fleshed out anyway, because a lot of the characters, might not have a lot to say, because it still is an older game. It's only the 5th Zelda game that came out. But I had a lot of fun with it. It's the first Zelda game I played, but it is actually not the first Zelda game I beat. So... that's really all I have to say. I loved it. Was the first time we saw Ganondorf. I really loved the dungeons in that game. I think the Spirit Temple was honestly my favorite. So, good story, good gameplay. It's just the controls are a little janky, especially on the original N64 version. But alright, next up is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I know a lot of you guys might castrate me in the comments for putting it here, but A Link to the Past is a very fun game, and actually, I'll put it up a tier. My favorite thing about A Link to the Past is the fact that a previous hero died before this game in Ocarina of Time, because remember, this game starts off the downfall timeline. I'm a lore geek when it comes to Zelda, especially. I think it's pretty damn cool how you get to avenge, quote unquote, I'm using air quotations, the previous hero in this game. I love the imprisoning war lore. I love the story of A Link to the Past, and even what we get in game is really cool for a game released in the early 90s. Where it falls a little short is the controls. Again, it being an SNES title, it does fall a little short in the gameplay category, but I don't really have anything negative to say about the game other than the fact that it's a little dated, but it looks like it could be a modern 8-bit or 16-bit game. So it is still really fun, and I love the game, but it's just not my favorite. But, Next up, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. This game made me cry. I definitely cried at the end of Link's Awakening. If you know, you know. The story was phenomenal, even the original release. It was very heart-wrenching when I found out that at the end of it all, it was just a dream from the Windfish. I genuinely almost shed a tear. I cried, literally. The gameplay was a lot of fun. Even on the original Game Boy version, the gameplay was very silky smooth for the time, and then the remake just did that times 10. Very, very amazing game. I love it. It was amazing. I had a lot of fun playing through it. Next up is The Legend of Zelda: Oracle of Seasons. So this game is very unique. You control all the seasons, all 4 seasons. the music in the game was phenomenal. I loved it, especially Tarm Ruins, for the 6th dungeon in the game. I really think it was a really fun and unique game. It fell short in the story. I didn't really love how you saw the main villain one time and then you don't really hear from him again until you go and fight him at the end. But other than that, fun game. I have no complaints about it other than the fact that the pacing was a little weird, but fun gameplay, fun story. I liked it a lot. Its sister game, Oracle of Ages, however, I like a lot more. The dungeons are a lot harder. It's more puzzle-based. You see the main villain a few times. The story progresses a lot nicer. And I love the time travel mechanic. I know by the time Oracle of Ages came out, we already had time travel in the series, but I'm a sucker for time travel. I love time travel. So even though Seasons, yes, was more unique, and we haven't seen anything like it since then, I still am a sucker for time travel. I love time travel. So it ranks a little higher than Seasons. Next up, I believe, is A Link Between Worlds. This game is just A Link to the Past, but better. And I know some people might not agree with that, especially people who grew up with A Link to the Past. But A Link Between Worlds story was fleshed out a lot better. You got to see everything. It even had the backstory of A Link to the Past in it, so, you can tell that those two games are meant to connect. I really, really enjoyed Lorule and Yuga. Yuga was a very interesting villain. But, yeah, get the hell out of here. Alright. The gameplay was fun. I love the wall merging mechanics. There was, in the water dungeon, you use a hook shot to slam yourself against the wall and then you merge into the wall. I had a lot of fun with this game. Which I can't say for this next one. The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. If I could put that lower, I would. I really, really dislike Triforce Heroes. It was not my favorite game by a long shot. Out of all the multiplayer Zelda games, and all the Zelda games, period, it really was my least favorite game. The controls are very annoying, and with the online shutdown for the DS and Wii U, I could only play single player. So I recently did play through this game because my girlfriend and I are playing through the games in chronological order. And we beat this game probably a month or two ago. And I can't stand the controls. The totem polling's annoying. The difficulty is kind of all over the place. You'll do one level and it's piss easy. And then you'll do the very next one and I'm stuck for an hour. The story is really weird. It's about a princess. It takes place in a land called Hytopia. It's north of Hyrule or something like that. And the princess gets stuck in a jumpsuit. And it's this huge catastrophe. It's really weird. Your whole goal for this game is to help the princess get out of that jumpsuit. So it's really weird. Next up chronologically would be Echoes of Wisdom, and as you know, that's an S-rank tier, so just imagine that being somewhere in the S-rank category. I already said my opinions on that game. Story was great, gameplay was great. I think it was unique with not really being able to use the sword all throughout the game. You still got to use the sword with the ability you get when you use your sword energy, but I liked the echoes. It's one of my girlfriend's favorites too. It was a lot of fun. But, yeah. So, after Echoes of Wisdom is The Legend of Zelda for the NES. This game is super cryptic and difficult, and for someone playing through it blind, you really need a guide. It's, impossible to beat without a guide. You could. I've seen people do it. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there of people playing it blind and beating it, especially the second quest. Second quest is a whole new beast, but the game's good. The story's good. It's decent for its time. It came out in the mid-'80s, 1986. I had a lot of fun with it. It is really difficult. Fighting the monsters are super hard. It's not very fun sometimes, but I have fun playing it. It adds to the story. It's nice. I've played through the game a few times. Not really many characters, and the controls do kind of suck, like really bad. And if they remade that game and did it right, who knows? That might even be an A or possibly even S rank tier game. Because it is that good. It's just dated by today's standards. Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. A lot of you are going to be shocked by this, but I like it more than the original Legend of Zelda. I like the 2D style approach. Now, I would prefer if they never went back to that, but for what it is really fun. I think the story's pretty dark, too. Like, Ganon has been defeated in Zelda 1. In Zelda 2, you gotta focus on waking up a sleeping princess who's been asleep for centuries. And if you lose, if Ganon's minions succeed in killing you, they take your blood and sprinkle it over Ganon's ashes and resurrect him. Now, obviously, canonically, that doesn't happen, but it's a pretty high stakes game, and it is very difficult. But I loved the combat in the game. It's given me a few rage incidents. I've raged quite a bit at the game, but I have a lot of fun playing it. I would play Zelda 2 over Zelda 1 any day. So, all right. I believe that's all of the Downfall timeline. So now we're going to go on to the Child timeline. Majora's Mask. First S-rank Zelda game. This game is phenomenal. This game has such a dark story, such a dark atmosphere with the moon falling down, and just I loved the really dark and grim aspect of this game. It's super dark. Every character you interact with is going through their own grievances. With the transformation masks, every mask is their broken soul. So every time you're putting on their mask, you're feeling their distress and their anxieties and their depressions. Like, I've heard that this game is the 5 stages of grief, which I think is accurate from what I've went through. Currently, this is the game we're playing through right now. I really love this game. It is my second favorite Zelda game. So yeah, my next ranking is actually my favorite Zelda game of all time. The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. There's a bit of nostalgia bias here, because this is the first Zelda game I ever beat. But I love this game. It is my favorite video game of all time. Not just favorite Zelda game, my favorite video game of all time. I absolutely love The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. The story in the game is amazing. It's like Ocarina of Time, but better. And this game is also as old as I am, funny enough. The game is a lot of fun. The characters are amazing. Link's love interest, Ilia, is pretty interesting. She has it's a minor impact, but it still impacts the story. With Zant and Ganondorf and how Ganondorf was executed because of what he was planning in Ocarina of Time, because Link went back in time at the end of the game and warned Princess Zelda about what he was planning. So he was arrested for treason and then executed. But then that execution failed, so he was sent into the Twilight Realm. It was a fun game. The controls were fun. The dungeons were just amazing. Like, the dungeons, even that water temple, the water temple or lake bed temple was very annoying, but I still loved it. I loved every aspect of this game. And the only bad thing I have to say about Twilight Princess is the fact that we didn't get another one. Because there was supposed to be a sequel to this game, but we never got it because they chose to do Link's crossbow training instead. I know. Dumb. But I love Twilight Princess. It'll forever be my favorite Zelda game. The Legend of Zelda: Four Swords Adventures. This is my favorite of the multiplayer Zelda games. I liked the story. I liked how Vati was being used by Ganon. This is a new incarnation of Ganondorf. Another thing about Twilight Princess I love is the fact that you straight up murder Ganondorf, like you kill him, and in Four Swords Adventures he reincarnates. Love the story of Four Swords Adventures. It was simple, but it was nice. I liked how Vati was in it. Vati did his usual thing. You have no idea Ganon's even in the game until about halfway through. But this game is also really fun. I had a lot of fun playing it. And my girlfriend's looking forward to it too, because with Triforce Heroes and Four Swords, they're bite-sized. Well, no, never mind. Triforce Heroes is still a pretty big Zelda game for being. It's the Triforce Heroes is a big bite-sized Zelda game. You know, it's like the buffalo chicken wings of the appetizers. You know, it can fill you up. But Four Swords Adventures, unlike its predecessor Four Swords, was a full Zelda game. It takes a good 8-9 hours to beat. But yeah, the only negative thing I have to say is that, you know, it's just not Twilight Princess. You know, it never could be Twilight Princess, because that's not what it was meant to be. But yeah, now on to the adult timeline. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. The Wind Waker was also another phenomenal game. Now, this takes place in the timeline Link abandons, so there is no hero, and the world gets flooded because Ganondorf was overwhelming the soldiers in Hyrule. So, you know, the whole world is an ocean now, and you're witnessing the life of the new hero in that game, which I find to be a really fun game. When I first played it, when I saw Link's sister get kidnapped, I was invested. I needed to see that ending. So yeah. Did I rank Skyward Sword? I think I forgot to rank Skyward Sword. Oh no. Oh, there's just another Skyward. Okay, I think that might be HD and that might be the original, so I'll just put that here. Well, no, I've played that. I just won't rank that one. So there's another Twilight Princess too. Okay. So, Wind Waker. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just put them all in the same rank. So, Skyward Sword. I think that's it. Ocarina of Time. Okay, I think we're good now. Link's Awakening. Alright. Wind Waker had a fun story. I was excited to save Link's sister. I was very invested, and I was actually scared of Ganondorf in this game. Especially in the end. The ending of this game was so badass. You stab Ganondorf in the skull. I absolutely loved this game. It was so much fun. Now, obviously, still not my favorite. The Triforce quest at the end is a little annoying, particularly in the GameCube version, but at the same time, it makes the game go by a little slower, and you get to enjoy the world a little more. So, as much as it's annoying, I still like it a lot. So, next up, The Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass. This game was... I love it. I'm putting it so low because of one particular aspect of the game, and that's the Temple of the Ocean King. I hate it. It is very annoying. It pisses me off. I absolutely hate the Temple of the Ocean King. Other than that, the story is amazing. I don't mind the touchpad controls. I love Linebeck. Linebeck is my favorite character in all of the series. So if we were ranking this on Zelda characters, this would be up here above Twilight Princess. I don't really have much to say about the game. It's a continuation of Wind Waker. Literally takes place right after Wind Waker. So it's fun. It's a good game. I love it. I just really hate that particular part of the game, and that's what drags it down. If that weren't for that part of the game, it might be B or even A rank. But as it stands, it's a C rank. Spirit Tracks. I loved this game so much. I loved Chancellor Cole. I loved the characters in this game. Link and Zelda's dynamic. This might be the second. It is the second best Princess Zelda in all of the series. You stick with her through the game. Echoes of Wisdom, you play as Zelda throughout the whole game, but in this game, you team up with her. I love the trains. I know that's not really a popular opinion, but I did like the trains. It was a lot of fun. The what was it called? The Tower of Spirits. You did have to visit that dungeon a lot, like in Phantom Hourglass, but you didn't have to redo parts you already did. You just went to the next room every time. So, Spirit Tracks, amazing story. The gameplay wasn't horrible. It can be a bit janky and frustrating at times. You know, it's not perfect by any sense of the word, but it's a lot of fun. That's it for the classic Legend of Zelda games. So now we're going to move on to the last two, which I believe are either a timeline convergence, which is my favorite theory because I'd love to see all the timelines merge back into one, or another theory that is plausible, a split from Skyward Sword. But that one I don't believe to be true, and I'll give my reasons for that in another video. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. A tier. The game is, when it comes to gameplay, it is perfect. It is amazing. I love playing through it. It is a lot of fun. I would absolutely replay this game and its sequel over and over again, and I'd see something new every time. The story is a little lackluster. For Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but particularly Breath of the Wild even more, I don't like how the story has already happened, and you're just kind of like, alright, gotta do the dungeons and save the day. Sure, there are millions of side quests you can do, you know. You can explore the world, the whole world from the very beginning of the game, and that I love. But I'm also, as you can tell, I'm a lore geek. I need my good story. So it was a little disappointing when I found out, oh, the story already happened. If the story of Breath of the Wild happened in real time, and, like, the champions died, and, like, everything happened like that, but in real time without memories, it would easily be better than Twilight Princess. But as it stands, unfortunately, the story is what holds back Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom had a slightly better story, and I'm giving it an S rank, but a low S rank. It could be high A rank or low S rank. Now, I'm going to give it S rank because my A rank is almost out of room here. But also, it is genuinely worthy of S rank. It's just Breath of the Wild, but better. And that's what some people don't like about it. But the story, in my opinion, is leagues ahead of Breath of the Wild. Princess Zelda, now it is again a memory-based game, but you're not seeing your own memories. Zelda actually did get transported back in the past in front of your eyes, and then you're seeing what she went through in the past during the founding of Hyrule, or as I like to call it, the re-founding of Hyrule. I believe it is founded again after the old Hyrule had collapsed in whichever timeline or whatever happened to the three timelines. After that happened, I believe that's where this founding happens. I really loved Rauru. I loved the story and how Ganondorf literally wiped out everybody. It got pretty dark, but I love Tears of the Kingdom. I love the Sky Islands, even though the Sky Islands were a little bit bare. That's where it loses a few points. The Sky Islands and the depths, I wish they had a bit more lore to them. I did like the little bits of lore that we got from those secluded islands. People will know what I'm talking about. The tablets, where you read the tablets, and have them deciphered. But it's a good game. I liked it. People are very divided on it, but I'm a pro Tears of the Kingdom person. I prefer classic Zelda any day, but Tears of the Kingdom was definitely a step up from Breath of the Wild. Alright, that's it for all canon Zelda games. But there's two more left. There's Hyrule Warriors and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I haven't played Hyrule Warriors in over 7 years. but I liked it. I liked that it was a mashup of all the different Zelda games. I really liked Sia. Sia was a cool villain. She was like really jealous and she had a crush on Link, so she fucked up the timelines and stuff. And you know, I don't remember too much about the game, but I remembered having a pretty good time playing it. Age of Calamity. I am conflicted. But this game, unfortunately, is going to get a C rank. This game had the potential to be an A or even S rank game. Hands down. But unfortunately, it made us think that we were getting the story before Breath of the Wild to a T. But it took Breath of the Wild story and then split it off. Now, the canonicity of this game is debated. Some people think it's another timeline split, and some people don't think it's canon at all. I'm under the impression that the game is non-canon, like the original Hyrule Warriors. But it could be, it'd just be another timeline split. Cool. But either way it stands, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get the real events from before Breath of the Wild. I really loved Aster. He was a really cool villain. And this game had its dark moments, like when the Yiga clan members got their souls ripped out of their body as a sacrifice to Calamity Ganon. I think that was a pretty dark moment in the game, and it made me shiver. Or when Calamity Ganon took over Aster's body in the end, and made him his new body. But the story was very disappointing. I loved the gameplay of the Hyrule Warriors games, but as it stands, it's a C rank. Age of Imprisonment is coming out, and Nintendo outright confirmed that was going to be a canonical event, or the real imprisoning war. So that game could be a potential S rank. I'm very excited for Age of Imprisonment. I cannot wait for that game to come out, because they outright confirmed this time that yes, it's going to be canon. So it'll be the first real canon Hyrule Warriors game. Now, there are some people out there who are against, or not against, but don't really care about the lore, and that liked that Age of Calamity diverted. But the majority of fans were disappointed in Age of Calamity's timeline split, or non-canonicity, whatever you guys think it is. But Age of Imprisonment, from what I am led to believe, will be the actual canon events of the imprisoning war. And I could not be more excited. Let me know what you guys think of this tier list. This is my favorite Zelda games, or my list of Zelda games ranked. And just remember, Echoes of Wisdom is on the S rank, but it's just not in this list. So, alright guys, thank you guys for watching this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if Triforce Heroes is at the top of the S rank list, or if Twilight Princess is at the D or even E if there was one. Let me know your guys' opinion in the comments, because it matters to me. I like hearing everyone's opinions, because I know that this tier list, if this were like every other tier list, this game would be right here, and this game would be right here, so it's always fun to hear your guys' opinions. So, thank you guys for watching.